I shed a tear for every brother that I lost from the block. The rivers flow down my cheek from the top. I swear I can't stop for them, I continue to rock. I stuck to right at 211 with that clock. I wonder how a homie could straight flip and fly and take a fellow soldier out for chump change. God, it hurt to see so many of my friends' kids growing up without a father like I did. Selective memory got me through all the trauma. In life, the mic was light through the drama. The darkness that Rick James called Charlie Murphy. Give me that fuck your catch attitude at an early age. I was a habitual line stepper. I did you dirty, man, and milked your bitch as my heifer. Never would've dreamed to have a queen in my corner. All I knew was hood rats in my quarters and borders. Need a queen to support you in this new world order. Sugar looking castle, this king made moves for her. This is chess, not checkers, fool. She's why my future's unlimited. F you. I know you're feeling it, the way we be flipping it. The way we kick it in is something different. We stay whipping it, that's how we represent. The way we killing it's the way we be living.
Hello everybody, good evening. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the show on Hbtv. I'm your host, Harry Bugerin. If this is your first time, thank you for joining us. And if you're a repeat viewer, thank you for your love and support. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and hit that little bell on YouTube so you get alerts when we are on live. So thanks again for joining us. I do appreciate your time, your ears, and your eyes for this episode tonight. Very excited about this episode tonight, actually. I'm going to sit down via Zoom, obviously, with Selectafade. He is another producer, hip-hop producer, music producer. Been doing it a very long time. I first met him while we were at Carnegie Junior High School here in Carson, California. We both started DJing at the same time, and I just haven't got in touch with him in such a long time, and this is a chance for me to touch base with him and just talk to him about his journey since I last seen him, probably like about 1990ish or so. Probably when the last time I seen him, but it's going to be great to sit down with him via Zoom and just talk about his stuff. I'm going to be playing his music. I've been playing some of his music from the past episodes as well. Hope you like it. Hit him up if you guys are rappers or singers or whatever. If you guys need some background music for your movies or documentaries, hit up Selectafade if you like his tracks. He can do it. He can do all that stuff for you. So so basically the same format as we always do. I'm going to play his music before we get started. I'm going to go ahead and get him on the Zoom and, bring him in with that. But one thing I want to say before we get started with that is last night's episode was very powerful. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and get that off the channel or off the site, harrybugerintv.me. The episodes are listed there, but Dr. Hector Lastra gave some great information. He talked about the science behind, wearing the masks and how do people actually get infected. So it's really good stuff. And on that note, big supporter of the show of Hbtv, of myself, is my cousin who runs Aloha Outfitters. If you need some masks, we are still living in that pandemic. If you need some masks, go ahead and hit them up. Aloha Outfitters on IG. Make any mask for you. Put logos on it. Whatever you want. Does great stuff. Hit them up there. So, and again, previously on some other episodes, still on the masks. I'm promoting that because I believe in it. Let me know. I got some people who do make them on the side, and they always volunteer to donate to like hospitals, police stations, fire stations. To the kids and all that. So let me know, DM me, message me, get me on the comments, let me know what's going on with that. If you guys need some masks, I'll be more than happy to get that out to you. But again, thank you for your time. I'm going to play some tracks of Selectafade, get him on the Zoom in a bit, and just talk a little bit about his journey with that. So again, thank you for tuning in to Hbtv, the show with Selectafade, and your host, Harry Bugerin.
Selectafade and low cell. Hip-hop, you don't stop. It goes one time for your mind. Chicago murder rate climb every time I rhyme. Those some floats on breaks like the flow of the Great Lakes. Over Midwest states, I slap like 808. Bakes for your face means peace, see you later. They try to blend in, but I can see ya haters. Selectafade, I say ya, some fraudulent types. And if we say that, sick 'em, I'ma get on that mic and serve every one of you, burn every one of you, murder you in a verse or two. That's what I'm gonna do. So now, sucker, what it do? Kick you to the curb, fooling everyone you ever knew. Be like they never heard of you. I'll make your career disappear with no trace. You'll just be a cold case, cause I'm a cold case. I'll leave the track lakes like some brand new J's. It'll be your last dance on your live stream. You ain't pimping, you just pimping with a bad contract. I'ma clown your ass, cause homie don't play that. Better give me the mic back with a whack flizzo like that. Let me show you how to write rap that'll blizzo their wigs back. Don't you ever attack any of my allies, cause I'll take it to your door like Amazon Prime. Homie, that's on mine all the damn time. Don't get it twisted with this internet shit, I'll bring it to your lives. Your girl passed the coochie up, she wanted to ride. Cause you a fuckboy, a fucktoy that she likes to hide. In her closet, you getting shoved like your album, right? I'm on the rapper, they can't even mobile ride. Once I check the mic, I ain't letting shit slide. Mamba mentality, you ain't getting a pass tonight. Head ass critics will talk shit about your rhymes, but dead ass never wrote a verse in their fucking lives, or been in a recording booth, let alone wrote a poem. But they swear up and down that they got the dope shit at home. Ain't never touched a stage or a microphone, but they're freestyling the cypher until they all alone. Before you critique any of my art, better make sure you got enough ammo to back up what you start. Cause I'm a starving artist that'll eat your ass up for lunch, then munch on the rest of your crew the next day for brunch. Your buster consumption is repercussions, and my squad stay hungry with an appetite for destruction. It goes 1 to the 2, the 3, the 4. Let me introduce you to the homie flow. And you got every rapper on the hand, and it ain't gon' be till it's a roll MCs. 1 to the 2, the 3, the 4. Let me introduce you to the homie flow. And you got every rapper on the hand, and it ain't gon' be till it's a roll MCs. You's a beat biter, dope style taker. Tell it to your face, you ain't nothing but a faker. Dick rider, straight clout chaser. Tell it to your face, you ain't nothing but a hater. Flow biter, dope rhyme taker. Tell it to your face, you ain't nothing but a faker. Ghost rider, that's what you're made of. Tell it to your face, you ain't nothing but a hater. I'm from the east side of the course and the west side of Chicago. My raps attract blacks, po whites, and Chicanos. Asians, Arabs, Pino, Yakuza, Puso. Filipinos, Latinos, and of course my Usos. Cause my mic don't discriminate, I kill self-incriminates. I come up in this bitch, y'all just artificial inseminate. Remember me? I terminate the perpetrates. I came with the great, you came with the hate, now this thing was a popular drink, and it still is. I get props blowing up like Bruce Willis. So yippee-ki-yay, I die hard on you suckers. I'm mowing down rappers like a redneck trucker. I make a soundtrack for hustlers like DJ Mustard. Got you hiding in the bunker like a trumper. I might clown your ass, then dance like a crumper. Then slam the mic down like domino, motherfuckers. 1 to the 2, the 3, the 4. Let me introduce you to the homie flow. And you got every rapper on the hand, and you ain't gon' wait till it's a roll MCs. 1 to the 2, the 3, the 4. Let me introduce you to the homie flow. And you got every rapper on the hand, and you ain't gon' wait till it's a roll MCs. 1 to the 4.
So that was a Selectafade and my guy Low Cell on the vocals there, called Fraudulent Ones. We're still on Selectafade, so check it out.
Camouflage, cover, and concealment. You gotta know how to camouflage yourself in order to survive out in a combat situation. What is cover gonna do for you? It's gonna protect you. What else? It's not gonna conceal you. What else? Hide your fun enemy. What's gonna protect you against what?
Selectafade.
There it is.
Hold on tight.
Filipino.
Selecta.
Fade.
And I'll put you on your ass.
What you want me to do? Cut 'em up and cut 'em up.
That is what I give 'em. Do you want some? This is hip hop.
Never ever disrespect my crew.
I'm hard like an erection. Never take a loss cause I'm hard to beat.
Watch me clock me to see if I can do this.
Back and forth. Getting ready. Forth and back. Getting ready.
Judge for yourself.
Without a doubt. Keep it locked. Ain't in no place to keep it locked.
To let you know what's up.
Keep it locked.
Ain't in no place to let you know what's up.
Keep it locked.
Ain't in no place to let you know what's up. Ain't in no place to let you know what's up. To let you know. To let you know. To let you know. To let you know what's up. To let you know. To let you know. To let you know. To let you know what's up.
Man, Selectafade, speaking with his hands, baby.
It's your boy Abbas, aka Pi the Piper, at Calibrated Music. Selectafade, Mr. Don Camaniag, and Ray Trinidad. I was fortunate to meet them because other than our interest in music, we also came from the same roots of the Philippines. Yo, Fado, let's twist this shit, man.
Sayaw na gumalaw ka na, sabayan mo na sila magagandang dalaga. Kasama mo pa lahat ng mga barkada. Huwag na mahiya, huy, huwag kang mahina. Sumayaw ka na parang ulo masira. Totoo naman pero hindi lang halata sa atin. Basta marami ang pagkain, di kumpleto pag di nakasain ng kanin. Ulang natin, uy, sigurado may beer. Nilabas na ang pulutang we be drinking in here. Tingnan ang bebot, wet, ang sarap kagatin. Diskarte magaling, lalo na pag lasing, nabante ka manin. Ang lakas ng tama, yosi ka pa rin. Hanggang sunog na ang baga, nasusuka na sa labas ng bintana. Hey, you ready? Turn the system, splash, sayaw, just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. No one should roll that grass, buff, pass. I really wanna see your ass. Yo, turn the system, splash, sayaw, just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. System mode, blast, straight that fast. Don't let the liquor last. Hala, sige bira, kasi kilang kamatani mo kasi chiggy, word, look at the girls, man, nakaskirt. Grabe naman na kasi was a bird. She's in a hurry, nahulog yung Louis Vuitton purse. Melon dako kaayo, but to fall off from her shirt. Lingit ang mata, babagang nga. Duhol ko sa iyaha para magpaila-ila. Grabe kay ang paabay, grabe ka puti. Tiyada ang taog lawas, pero na walang kay bati. Man kalami, basta chika chirp. Look at the curse, man ang lubot. Smell the utot, may what the fuck. Lubot inihog, di paningot, nagisingot. Namami grabe naging kagilok. Sige lang isiyang kato, pasensya na mo sa ako kay medyo nakuubog. Turn the system, splash, sayaw, just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. No one should roll that grass, buff, fast. I really wanna see your ass. Yo, turn the system, splash, sayaw, just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. System mode, blast, straight that fast. Don't let the liquor last. Uy mga pare, let's get it started. Para muna nga ang jeepney sa boulevard. You can just spark it. Regardless, you know how they dress up Filipinas. They pack the jeepney like a can of sardinas. Flips here in Cali, we barely tryna be rich. We hit like many people still slap on them white chicks. Kissing on me, she wanted to know. She said she never had a Filipino before. And skin color perfect, coconut brownish. My coconut is, he can ask about it. Hispanic culture with an island vibe. And I'm a flip, so my blood running one of a kind. Come de la la from the southern islands of Mindanao. On your city OC up in the house. The beach to the NYC. But here in Cali, we say it proudly, make it happen. We calibrate the systems. Blast, say y'all just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. No one should roll that grass, puff, fast. I really wanna see your ass. Go to the systems. Blast, say y'all just dance. I wanna see you shake that ass. System mode, blast, drink that fast. Don't let the liquor last.
Man, I don't know about you, but I like that one. I like that one right there. So, again, this is Selectafade's tracks. Keep listening.
Yeah, it's that cabin shit. Well, it be that young to CAPO window. Representing it stronger, putting it down for the Long Beach and San Diego. Where's the days go? Recognize that slowly, but for surely. Ones that don't know, ones that know me. Watching me come up with all of the homies. It ain't no questions. Definitely ain't no half stepping away on full court present while I'm West Coast repping. Continuously spinning that shit to keep you soaked. My big Oster put me on game, so it's a must not to stay broke. Man, I'm young, flying, skinny with a gang of hoes that wanna get with me. It's gotta be the island that in me. I'm focused, destined to come up major. Keep on clowning and floating in front of you bitch ass haters. It ain't no thing, no. I know you be loving the way I do this shit. I'm cool with it, smooth with it, the way I act a fool with it. But nevertheless, I'ma keep it poppin' with finesse to keep you sprung up off these clothes that I know will keep you winning with that feeling that never felt before. As I slide through, getting much love from groupie hoes. You know how I do, man. Shit. Plenty of dash from people that I'm attracting, keep it cracking. Never know how that Henny got me acting as I'm faded. Hitting it with that legal penetration as my pockets inflated. That's how we doing it, calibrated shit, I'm clowning. Riding with my dime piece in the bucket and she sprung up off my nuts because my attitude's like fucking up for real though. Got these haters kicker rocks with steel toes. The way that I be freaking up all these beats like I'm an info, shit's dangerous. Ain't no playing me, there ain't no game to this. Plan to take over with my intentions is flagrant. I'm on a mission to squash my competition and keep on dissing you chickens cause bitches is only out for my chippers. I'm on deck and homie you can bet that I'ma keep on spinning these way smooth flows that'll keep your females way wet. Here we are, dropping that hot shit to keep you hoes up on my balls. That times could be stressful, it's always best to keep on holding on and never let go. My mama told me to never lose my head. No matter what situation occurs, keep on holding it down until you're ahead. It's like I'm falling short, feeling like it's me against the universe. Strong little youngster learn to struggle till it really hurts. Born in 1985, learned to live and strive, even though I was raised up in that normal childhood life. Learned to write in a couple rhymes to help me keep on holding on. Never get the best of me, I sacrificed a few things to be up in Long Beach, to follow my dreams, and hopefully move us up to better things. Wasn't it quick to hit the school and get the books cracked open. Ready had got my hustle on and get my pockets bulging. But now I realize it's on me to do it bigger, come up short. But I'ma keep on holding on and shoot something until I'm broke. story to keep. Till it's time to be, this the life for me. Trying to bring my family up to a higher unit. Trying to make it through life even though that times could be hella foolish. Told my mama one day we gon' do it real big. Take all the stress off your shoulders for raising 5 kids. And for my brothers and sisters, know that I miss ya. Keep on holding on until I be able to take care of your issues. Learn to enjoy and try to live my life to the fullest. But my money problems got me sweating like I'm dodging bullets. Thank God I got a family that care for me. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be holding on to anything. Got many dreams and hopefully one day I'll fulfill them. Even though times I feel like ODing off penicillin. Hit the new pimp and think about things that I wanna do and keep holding on and forever hoping things will follow through.
Man, I think that has to be one of my favorite tracks from him. But this next one called Freeways, this one kind of hits. Check it out.
In the 818, I'm on the 101 southbound interstate. Windows up with the AC on, the vents closed, cause outside is 98 degrees, but inside is froze. Lighter in my right hand, piece in the left. I'm hotboxing so the weed circulate each breath. Traffic moving slow, so I'm driving with my knee and making sure the CHP ain't behind me. Puff, puffing in the pass it to myself, I guess. On the radio, some old school Tribe Called Quest. And tap the ash in the tray and put the piece in the stash and switch it to the third lane and put my foot on the gas. And now I'm mashing, but I gotta keep my speed on the low, cause I don't want the po-po to find out that I ain't got no coverage on the photo. 94 Corolla, plus I still got about a half of the hydro. I slide down the 405. Now I'm southbound, headed for a very long drive, cause everybody got the same thing on their mind, cause everybody switching lanes at the same time on the freeway.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it. Lean it to the side so it looks like
Freeway music.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it.
Dust is burning, the steering wheel's turning.
Honk, honk, beep, beep. Everybody rubbernecking cause somebody just crashed. Now I'm about to miss my exit. Damn, now I gotta slam the brakes and merge lanes, cause they flipped over their car and they about to burn in flames. It's a shame that you can't drive. Why you got an X5 talking on your cell, applying makeup at the same time? I guess you should've slowed down like most Def said it. Made the wrong move and that's your ass chick, forget it. Don't sweat it cause I'm almost at the destination. Right behind the Escalade, niggas playing PlayStation. Got the munchies so I'm looking for the next gas station. I'ma grab a bag of chips and a bottle of libation. See this Asian chick at the pump looking kinda fine, so I pull up right beside and hit her with a few lines. Now I'm back up on the road for the mission at hand. Don't need no more distractions, gotta stick to the plan. I'm on the freeway,
Exceed
man.
the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it. Lean it to the side so it looks like
Freeway music.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it.
Dust is burning, the steering wheel's turning.
Now I'm getting close to where I'm trying to be. The 710 take me straight to the LBC. I got about 3 miles before I hit the exit. Last song on the disc, so I gotta eject it. Now I'm switching through the channels on the FM dial. The same songs in rotation like usual. I flip through the case logic for some brand new disc. Should I put in Slum B or some old school Chris? Oh shit, I hear sirens and some flashing lights. I guess the man wanna sweat my black ass tonight. I put the metal to the metal and I steer hard right, cause if you want chemically, gotta deal with a fight. I tried mashing to the exit, but the road was blocked, so now my only option is to pull over and stop. I had a lot of weekend plans, but they just got dropped, cause I just got popped by some punk ass cops on the freeway.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it. Lean it to the side so it looks like you're sinking. Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it.
Dust is burning, the steering wheel's turning.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it. Lean it to the side so it looks like you're sinking. Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it.
Dust is burning, the steering wheel's turning.
Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it. Lean it to the side so it looks like you're sinking. Exceed the speed limit, tinted up in weeds in it.
Dust is burning, the steering wheel's turning.
All right, guys. So that was all of Selectafade's tracks right there that I wanted to highlight. So what I'm going to do is set him up on the Zoom, and then we'll be right back on the chat. So just stay tuned. Give me about a minute or so to get this going. Selectafade is next. All right, we got our special guest tonight, Selectafade. He's waiting for us on the Zoom, so I'm going to bring him on to chat with us. So just give me a quick second. Let's get my man Selectafade right in. Fade, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good. Thank you for taking the time to joining us. I do appreciate it. Been playing your tracks, man. They are fire. We love it. I love it especially, and thank you for that. It helps out the show dearly, as you know, with a bunch of DJs being shut down. But great music, great production. Just love hearing your music, brother. So really quick, let's go ahead and, I'm going to give you that 30 seconds elevator speech to tell everybody, all of our viewers out there in attendance and the millions about to be watching, who Selectafade is and what does Selectafade do?
Well, Selectafade's been a DJ for almost 35 years plus now, and starting as a DJ and got serious into producing. After seeing Qbert, I stopped DJing. Started making beats. But for real though, at least I still scratch here and there, but I give that to the rest of the other cats now. I can do that, but I'm just in my other zone now, just making beats now. So,
well, that's what's up, and I'm just gonna give the audience some history with us. We all grew up in the South Bay. We went to Carnegie. We started DJing basically at the same time. I remember, from 7th, 8th, and 9th grade being at Carnegie Junior High School. It was you, it was me, it was David Arellano, and just a bunch of other cats out there. I mean, just for our time, there were other people doing it as well. But, for our little group and, from us passing by each other, that's where our history comes on. But after 89, 90, when we went to high school, we lost touch. I went to Banning. You was at Banning for a little bit. I transferred out of Banning, went to Carson High eventually. You went to Long Beach Poly. Give it a shout out to Long Beach Poly, and eventually went to Lakewood High School. But one thing I remember about you, and you can explain this, but as DJs, all of us were trying to make it. We're trying to make it big. We see everybody out there. From Rakim and his DJ, Jazzy Jeff, everybody out there, Cash Money, right? And you were actually the first one that I know. You were actually the first one that I know that had a 12-inch single when we were kids. And I remember you bringing it to school, and I was like, man, this guy got a 12-inch single. I was like, wow. Right, so I didn't get a copy of it, but I remember you had it. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you produce it? Where did you press it? And then, who was on there with you?
That was 1990, I believe, 89 and 90.
Okay.
And I met up with my homeboy Jaron Coakley. He was from Long Beach too, and we just ended up collaborating. And really, I was just really the DJ. And then when we got down, when we got to the studio, the first time being in the studio, you know what I mean? And nervous as hell too at that time, And we had no drum machines at that time. I was doing samples just pure by hand, dude.
Right.
And that was pretty hard on a reel to reel, you know what I mean? Just keeping it on going on the beat. And from there, this guy, was James, this guy named James, he's the one heard us. He said, hey, we get on, put you guys on, get some tapes and records out. And we did it. We did almost 8 songs together, and we tried to put it out that time. And it was a little indie label that time. So yeah, that was the first of everything from there for me.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I remember you having that. I remember seeing that. So that was cool. So take me through that journey past that, right? So you get in. You're one of the first ones that I know that cut a 12-inch, and as you said, you got a couple more songs in. And so where did that journey with producing take you from there?
I was just young, you know what I mean, and starting to learn things. And after the end, my friend had to move. He moved out, different state, and that was it from that. And he had to do his thing. I guess he got married and had a child at a young age too. And me meeting Don and trying to figure my character self, we just had to get separate our ways, and I had to find another crew again, you know what I mean? And it took a while, so I just kept in my craft, DJing all the time, making music, and linked up with some cats that I knew, especially with Philip and the cats from mine I grew up with in Long Beach as well, and we tried to put some singles out at that time, and a lot of things evolved during those times, especially copyrights. Cats is hating now, and when you bring stuff out, how come they ain't getting no credit of it? And I just never brought it up, you know what I mean? It was just too much drama and headaches from there, you know what I mean? And I just kept on with my craft, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here I am still right now, 2020, still doing it.
That's what's up, man. And again, you're watching HBTV, the show. with your host, Harry Bugarin, and my special guest tonight, Selectafade, all the way from Long Beach, California. You know, they breed champions with music right there, so he's part of that pedigree. You mentioned Phil Uranza, our brother, Philly Phil, if you're following with it on Instagram, and also CEO of Future Unlimited Media. Now, since you mentioned him, that's a great segue. In 1994, all right, 1994, I had an opportunity to get out to Hawaii for the very, very first time, right? And back then, everybody had, you know, those CD Walkmans. And I'm telling you something right now. The two albums that I carried with me, right, was that Boys II Men album, still fire. You know what I mean? That Boys II Men with all the dope tracks on there. And the second CD I brought with me was Hip Hop You Don't Stop. And that was the second time that I heard Selectafade, Don. I was like, dang, man, this dude is really putting out some great tracks, some great production. I kind of like fell off of that stuff. I went a different direction in life as far as making beats. I was still making beats a little bit and DJing a little bit, but not at the frequency, not at, you know, at the level of you being in the lab. So that's when I felt that I was like, man, this guy is really coming together with production. So tell me a little bit about that time in 1994 when you were making that album with Phil.
Wow, it was unbelievable. Still, I still trip on those days too, and I miss those years, dude. You know what I mean? Nothing to worry about, just making music, call each other up. We was just down the street, you know what I mean? And you know, collaborating with Phil, all I had was just a little 8-track at that time. You know what I mean? Everything was all analog. My SP1200, and it was just boom bapping it. And Phil was like, "Oh, you want to be down with the whoop-de-whoop thing?" You know, with Tom and them, because you know they were pushing it out. You know, as far as printing and all that stuff. Shout out to Tom too as well. And yeah, man. And from there, we just collaborated hard. You know what I mean? And Phil had all these MCs with him, and we just brought them to camp and just got them all on the tracks that I made. We made a gang of hits.
Now that's what's up. Yeah, I do love that album that you guys put out on with Phil. It was great. So tell me, like, with your workflow back then, has it changed from the 90s all the way going up to 2020 now? Because you mentioned analog. You know, everybody now has a convenience with it being all digital. We got controllers instead of the actual device that holds all the memory and all the software in there. So going back from the 90s, just take me back. Like, what type of equipment were you using then, and has it evolved? You know, coming up the years here.
But like I said, man, Tascam 4-tracks when I started, and I made a lot of stuff that was pretty hard. You know, because you know when you do tape and you overdub, you start losing clarity. And I just took it to a level where part of sampling was the thing, you know what I mean? All I had was this 8-second sampler. And from there, I was getting so creative and putting everything in just one track and the other 3 just for vocals and bouncing it. And from there on, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like a test for me, you know what I mean? Using a 4-track, because, you know, everybody, all the DJs started was a 4-track, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, as time go on, as things evolve, man, you know what I mean? I was stubborn to even use a Serato, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Serato came in, I'm like, man, what's this? I ain't trying to use that, because, you know, it lost that creativeness now, you know what I mean? My vinyls, you know, I like, man, I still like to use my vinyl. You know, I like to pick up the needles and listen to the dust, the crunch, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's the essence of things, you know what I mean? That's what makes the fun out of it, you know what I mean?
No, definitely, man. And again, you're watching Hbtv, the show, with my guest, Selectafade, all the way from Long Beach. So, yeah, man, no, I totally agree. When I first got hold of that Serato through my cousin, you know, he's like, hey, cuz, check this out. And I was actually, when I was transitioning from song to song, I was picking up the needle and trying to switch the record. And he's like, no, you ain't got to do that no more. Everything's on digital. So anyways, so you got the Tascam. I think I had a Fostex. You know, Phil, at one point, he graduated from the -1 he was talking about in his episode. And we all had that. We all had tape decks, dual tape decks and all that good stuff. But, you know, for me, and it still happens now, man. For me, it was more of the financial thing that stopped me when we were younger and kids, right? But so you graduate from the Tascam, or you're still using the Tascam, but what other equipment that you can say, hey man, this is still my go-to stuff that I still use today? Like, I got a guy in the chat right now, you know, Derek Matoyer, DJ Dex, Sound Reaction DJs, the best guy in our group, but he got an ASR 10, and I believe he still rocks that thing. You know what I'm saying? So take us back, like, what type of equipment, what other equipment are you using that still you make the sound that comes out today?
Well, as far as analog, I'm still analog. I'm using a Tascam 64 Porter Studio right now, and I got my BUMPBOXX machine I see in the back right here, just still using them, you know what I mean? And that's my source of creativity right there. Just as long as I have these two, the gang of records and the turntable, I'm great. You put me any kind of room on, you know, I can make some hits from there, you know what I mean?
That's what's up. That's what's up. So going on with that, with your creativity, you said you got your equipment, you're in your own space. Now, I know we're both from the golden age of hip hop era, right? But where do you get your inspiration to create your beats, your next track? Like, what drives you, and where do you pull the music from? Like, how does that happen for you?
I still venture cats, you know, still looking at the old pioneer stuff, you know what I mean? The pioneers of the hip hop, of what it is, what's taking place right now, you know, like Premier, of course, you know, Dr. Dre, of course, and, you know, I follow some other cats like Knots. I don't know if you heard of Knots, you know, TTV, he's dope too.
Yeah.
You know, the old Dilla stuff, you know, that's where I get my inspiration from, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard. We're out to get some stuff from the new stuff that's coming out now, you know. You know what I mean?
I mean, but do you listen to the newer music, and, you know, do you find it, you know, something that hits hard with you in your chest? I mean, some artists, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't.
No.
Don't trip me here,
I dig it. I dig it, man. So, so you hold the old school stuff. You take that with you, and that's what helps you out with your inspiration with creating your beats. Now, going back with your years, right? Any notable artists that you remember working with, you know, that really inspired you as well when you worked with them, or any other notable artists or producers that you collabed with over the years?
DJ Quick, well, the 89 and 90 when we was doing that, because, you know, I had, like I said, we didn't have no sample, and so our manager, the one that hooked us up with the studio time, he knew Quick, so we actually went to Quick's house. And he had an SB 1200 that time. Mm-hmm. He was just freaking some between the sheets kind of stuff. You know, Isley Brothers, that's what my boy was trying to sample that time. And dude, just watching Quick and his work habits, dude, is, you know, it's unbelievable. That cat's just off the chain, man. You know what I mean? From that day back in those days.
Wait. So time out. You was at Quick's house, and did you actually see him producing Quick Is the Name? Like that album?
No.
I was about to say.
He was working on our music.
Oh, okay.
He was working on our music.
Okay.
I was just there right in back of him watching how he does stuff, you know what I mean? It was a simple science thing because he got everything on format. This is before Quick was even coming out yet.
That's what I'm saying.
He was down with the Penthouse Click that time.
Yep. Penthouse Claire's Click. Exactly. And so he was helping you guys produce your tracks, huh?
Yeah.
That's dope. Wow. So DJ Quick, anybody else? Have you had a chance to work with anybody in the Long Beach area that's been out?
Ugly Duckling, if you heard of Ugly Duckling UD, they're like a hip hop group for a while. They're like part of the Far Side crew, Soulful Mischief time eras. You know what I mean? And I hanged out with Dizzy, Young Einstein, and Andy Cat, and they're from the Long Beach area. And, you know, hanging out doing, you know, watching how they do shows and they perform, critiquing their style, you know. It was all hip hop, you know, it was all love, one community, you know, and the Beat Junkies was around, and I get to know them, hang out with them, you know, so the mutual of meeting others in this game, man, it was pretty cool, man. And until art, man, people take pride and joy in what we do, and I love that.
And it's kind of crazy, and maybe you can relate to this, I'm pretty sure you can, that nowadays when you talk about that, when you finally meet these people like you mentioned some of those names like Beat Junkies and all those guys. You're saying there's an appreciation for it, but I remember there was a time when we were DJing, man, and any party we walked into, any place we walked into, somebody want to battle you for some dumb reason, right? So oh, you DJ? Okay, cool. All right, let's battle. Get on it. But I never really partook in any of that madness. But I remember walking into that as in the '80s, and we were young. Everybody had a chip. Everybody had to prove themselves. But I'm glad that through your journey, you got to meet some of these people and actually work with them, collab with them, and establish these great relationships. I guess when we're older, we can put all that other craziness aside. So again, you're watching Hbtv, the show with my special guest, Selectafade. So tell me now, like, what type of projects are you working on currently? If you're doing a new album, if you're doing anything with some new artists or anything like that.
As far as artists, really, Philippines, the only MC I really know that can really spit right now. As far as that, I'm still making beats. I'm selling beats too as well. I'm a Beat Stars. Check me out in there. YouTube, Spotify. I'm all around that area too. So I got some of my music on Apple iTunes. But yeah, I'm just trying to put out some instrumentals right now and just let it be known right now. You know what I mean? Just keep going with it. You know what I mean?
No, that's dope. Do me a favor and send me those links to all the links that you just mentioned. I'll put it in the video description. So when the users click on the description, they can just go straight to that site. So that's cool. That's cool that you're able to create the music, make the music, and put it out there. So what do you want to do eventually, as far as like how far do you want to take this, and how far do you think this can go for you?
Well, with all the, like you said, with all this these tools we have now, as far as putting it out, like I said, I'm trying to do everything all independently right now, all by myself. So, and the step-by-step measures and how to do it, it's pretty easy now. It's just a time of having a library full of stuff and ready to put out. Because I'm already got my stuff out already, and I just want to put more music for everybody out there, so they can hear me out.
That's what's up. Are you open to collaborating with like singers and other artists and other producers to make these hits?
Oh yeah, anybody. I'm willing to work with anybody. Anybody that can work with me, I'll work with them.
That's what's up, man. I love it. So just a few more questions for you, Selecta. Just a few more questions. So just going back, and I love the journey. I love picking the brains of my guests, because again, this channel, this show, the way I bring on people is to inspire, influence, educate, and empower. And so going from the 90s, almost 30 years, brother, almost 30 years, you trying to make it, right? You trying to make it, whatever that definition is of trying to make it, right? Now, do you feel that, the steps that you took, the journey that you took did you have any like set challenges, any things like that kind of roadblocked you on the way to trying to get yourself out, your product out, your brand out, your music out, compared to what's happening now for artists today?
To me, it seemed like it was even harder that time, you know what I mean, compared to now. Because, like I said, there's a lot of tools that's out now that give us resources to do music out now. I just barely got into IG just during the start of the pandemic. I'm trying to put as much beats out there so that people can listen. And these are beats from '96. Yeah. Wow. They think it's new, but I said, nah, these are from '96, bro. It's like 25 years old. But yeah, you know what I mean? I haven't really put out my new stuff yet. That's the scary thing. You know what I mean? And to me, the back then was pretty hard. You know what I mean? And the sacrifice that we took, the footwork especially, and these times now, we're not old, we're not getting any younger. You know what I mean? And I got family now. I got another career. I got a couple careers that I'm handling too.
Yeah. And
I'm always in love with my passion in hip hop forever. You know what I mean?
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. So I wanted to ask you one of my closing questions for you, man. Is I've asked this question to some of my guests. Let's just say, for example, tomorrow you're at the bus stop, you're chilling someplace, you're confronted with a young Selectafade, and y'all start talking, man. And you know, he's up for it. He wants to get into beat making, producing, all this good stuff. You know what? This is your chance to tell young Selectafade, like, what message would you give him before he enters this journey of his?
Pay your dues. You know what I mean? Just humble yourself. You know what I mean? And I don't know, these cats now, man, it seems like they're not taking the time to educate themselves, man. They think it's just, you know, there's no really, you know, wordplay in their lyrics anymore. And that's what's the scary thing part about it. You know, there's no education in their lyrics, no kind of positivity, especially, you know what I mean? Creativity. Everybody sound alike now, you know what I mean? And that competitiveness drive is gone. That's why I love hip hop so much. Everybody was always different. Like I said, it was like a battle type of schemes, you know, like I said, breakdance, graffiti, DJing. We all had a battle to be confident enough to get in the skills of a certain levels that we had. You know what I mean?
So that's what's up. Cool, man. So pay your dues, man. Know a lot about that. I'm still paying dues, bro. So that's how it goes. But anyways, before I let you go, Selecta, would you have anything else you'd like to say to our audience off the top of your head?
Before I go, like I said, you can catch me on Spotify, Selectafade, Selctafade, all one word. No spaces. Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Selectafade. Calibrated Music, KALIBRATED MUZYC. Selectafade Calibrated Music.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, I'm going to put all that stuff in the description after this is done. Make sure you get at me. And hey, one day, I hope to collaborate a track with you. How about that? What about that? You cool?
Do it.
Let's do it. All right, brother. Hey, great to see you. Great to hear your voice. Great to connect. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Love to the family, man. And tell them thank you for allowing you to be on the show with us tonight. You be safe, brother. And I'll be in touch. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right. All right. So that was our guest, Selectafade, all the way from Long Beach. If you love his tracks, if you love what he does, go ahead and hit him up. I'm going to put all of his links, his descriptions of anything that you guys need to get into. If you need some beats, if you're a singer, an aspiring singer, a rapper, whatever, hit this guy up. Definitely can get the stuff done. Got some fire tracks, as you heard, that I was playing earlier tonight on the show. So thanks again. That pretty much wraps up our show for Hbtv, the show with our special guest tonight, Selectafade. We're going to be on again this coming week. I believe it's Thursday night, but 7:30 2020 at 6 p.m. That is going to be the student athlete episode. I got about 6 student athletes. We're just going to talk a little bit about what it means and what they go through as being a student athlete. So if you have any parents out there or anybody that, you know, parents with kids in like travel ball or travel softball, football, and want some information straight from these student athletes, I think that'll be a great episode for them to tune into and get some information from these students. So until then, God bless, be safe, and have a great week. Thank you for tuning in to Hbtv, the show. Your host, Harry Bugarin, and again, my special guest tonight was Selectafade. So check that out in the description. Y'all have a good night.